we're going to do one of my favorites from my younger days back in Maryland. It's called Baltimore Pit Beef. Now, if you've ever been to Maryland in the month that has an R in it, you'll find that a lot of places hold beef and oyster roasts to raise money. And if you ever get the chance, you want to go to one of these, because that's where you'll be getting some of the best pit beef you ever had in your life. We're going to start out today with a 27.5 pound inside round Black Angus choice beef. First thing we're going to do is rinse this off, then we're going to remove this outside fat. There's a lot of silver skin that comes on these inside rounds, a lot of fat that we don't need. Most of it's not going to render off, so we're just going to cut it off and trim it down. You'll find that you have to trim both the top side of this and the bottom side. Like I say, there's a lot of silver skin, a lot of tissue on there that we just don't want to eat. So don't feel bad about removing all this, because you have a much better product in the end if you do. Okay, with all that removed, it's time to do our rub. It's a pretty basic rub. Probably going to have all the ingredients in your pantry already. All we need is a little chili powder, some garlic powder, some coarse ground black pepper, and some coarse kosher salt. Now the amounts of these that you're going to want to mix into this rub are here, so you know exactly what you're going to have to mix for a piece of beef this size. We're going to go ahead, sprinkle this liberally over this beef. Get it everywhere you can. We want to completely coat this piece of beef with this rub. Don't want any bare areas. I'm going to cook this beef over charcoal. I'm going to put 1 chimney full of unlit charcoal in the bottom of our pit here. We don't want to use the diffuser. We want those juices to drip down onto that hot charcoal and steam back up. We're going to take another half chimney and light it on our side burner from our char griller duo. We're going to dump that on top of the unlit charcoal that's down in the pit. That's going to give us a nice long burn, as that charcoal on the top gradually sets the charcoal on the bottom onto fire, lights it up, and it'll keep a nice long continuous and even heat for us. For this cook, we want to try to keep this pit between 275 and 300 degrees. Now, to help us do that, we're going to use the dual probe char griller thermometer. This thermometer will monitor the temperature both at the level of the grill where the cooking's taking place and also in the meat. We're going to go ahead, put our meat onto our grill, and we want to take the meat probe from our char griller thermometer. We want to find the thickest part of the meat in the center, and we want to stick that probe into there. That's where we want to read the temperature on this meat to make sure it's done. Today we're going to be shooting for an internal temperature of 135 degrees in the meat. Now, you might want to take another thermometer and check the other areas once it hits that in the center, just to make sure that the entire thing is at that temperature. Now that we're all set up and cooking, it's time to prepare our condiments. We're going to be eating this meat on a Kaiser bun. We want to top it with some thin sliced sweet onion and some Maryland Tiger sauce. This isn't the same Tiger sauce that you see in the stores that's tomato based. I'm not sure, but I don't believe a Maryland Tiger sauce is available in the stores. Here's the recipe. You're going to want to mix this up a little early and let those flavors all meld together. This stuff, if you've never had it, it's great on these sandwiches and it's great on pizza. Now, once you slice your onions up, and I use my electric meat slicer to do this, you're going to want to cover these up real good, because if you don't, your entire kitchen's going to smell like onion. Okay, we've hit 133. The grill's at 284. Time to check our meat. We're going to go ahead and pull this off. Now, you need to slice this up thin. So what you're going to find is you're going to have to cut it into manageable pieces in order to do that. That nice pink in the middle there, got a little bit of blood coming out. That's fine. That's exactly how you want this beef to be. Now, we've cut this down into manageable sections. We're going to move it over to our electric meat slicer. We want to slice this as thin as we can. If you don't have an electric meat slicer, you can use an electric carving knife or just a regular carving knife. This is a lot of beef, so it's a good idea if you can get one to use an electric meat slicer. That done, and it's time to eat. I'm going to put a handful of that beef on top of a Kaiser roll with some of that onion and tiger sauce. I guarantee you this is one of the best sandwiches you'll ever taste. It's pretty simple, it's pretty basic, but it's really good. Enjoy.